Hello everybody, you are welcome to Literature Hub 247, your favorite literature channel where the arts and science of literature are discussed. Our discussion today is on a non-African poem titled Bat. This poem is composed by D.H. Lawrence and it is a poem of nature because bat is a product of nature. Without wasting our time, let's go ahead and appreciate the poem. Bat by David Herbert Lawrence. At evening, sitting on this terrace, when the sun from the west, beyond Pisa, beyond the mountains of Carrara, departs, the world is taken by surprise. When the entire flower of Florence is engloomed beneath the glowing brown hill surrounding, when, under the arches of the Ponte Vecchio, a green light enters against stream, flows from the west, against the current of obscure Arno. Look up, and you see things flying between the day and the night. Swallows with spools of dark thread sewing the shadows together. A circle swoop and a quick parabola under the bridge axis, where light pushes through. A sudden turning upon itself of a thing in the air, a dip to the water, and you think the swallows are flying so late. Swallows? Dark air life looping, yet missing the pure loop. A twitch, a twitter, an elastic shoulder in flight, and serrated wings against the sky, like a glove, a black glove thrown up at the light. Never swallows, bats. The swallows are gone. At a wavering instant, the swallows give way to bats by the Ponte Vecchio, changing guard. Bat and an uneasy creeping in one's scalp. As the bats sweep overhead, fly madly, pipistrello, black piper on an infinitesimal pipe. Little lumps that fly in here and have voices indefinite, widely vindictive. Wings like bits of umbrella. Bats, creatures that hang themselves up like an old rag to sleep. And disgustingly upside down, hanging upside down like rows of disgusting old rags, and grinning in their sleep. Bats, in China, the bat is a symbol of happiness. Not for me. That is the poem. Now let's go to the analysis of the poem. But before we do that, I identify some difficult words and expressions in the poem, and I give the poetic meaning so that you can understand the poem better. First one is malevolence, which means hostile attitude. Hostile attitude. Gloom means darkness, dimness, or obscurity. Spools is a device around which thread, wire, or cable is wound. The Ponte Vecchio is a medieval stone, close-spanted segmental arch bridge over the Arno River in Florence, Italy. So it's just the name of a place in Italy. So that we'll not be disturbing ourselves looking for the meaning in the dictionary. Swallows. Swallow is a small migratory bird that feeds on the wings by catching insects. Swoop. Swoop means to fly downward suddenly. That's how bats fly. Parabola, the explicit drawing of a parallel between two dissimilar things, especially with a moral or didactic purpose. Looping, to mix together. Twitch, a brief small movement out of place and then back again. That one is also describing the movement of bat. Twitter, the songs uttered by birds. Shudder, a moment of fear. Serrated, having a row of sharp or tooth-like projections. Saw-like, that is, like a saw that is used by the carpenter or furniture maker. Pipistrello is a species of bat. Piper is a pipe player. Infinitesimal, minute, small, very small. Vindictive, having tendency to seek revenge when wronged, that is, revengeful, in bracket. Grinning, a smile in which the lips are parted to reveal the teeth. That's the structure of the teeth of a bat. Terrace, a platform that extends from a building. Now, the analysis of the poem. Bats are mammals capable of flying. They can more easily maneuver than birds while flying. This is just describing bats. They feed mostly on insects and fruits. A species of bat is called vampire bat. This one sucks blood from animals and humans. Hence, they are deadly. That is, this species of bats are deadly. Vampire bats. They suck a human and animals' blood. They are nocturnal animals. Hence, they are fearful, malevolent, and associated with witchcraft and death, especially the vampire bats. They are nocturnal animals, that is, they are active in the darkness. They are always active in the darkness. They portend bad omen for the people that are in contact with them in certain circumstances. Now to the poem. The poem opens with the description of the environment in which bats can be found. The poet expresses his personal experience with bats, chronicling the type of animal bat is. The poet sits on a terrace in the evening when the sun is seen no more and the flower is hardly seen. Now let's go from the poem. Quote, at evening, sitting on this terrace, when the sun from the west, beyond Pisa, beyond the mountains of Carrara, departs and the world is taken by surprise. That is describing the environment it is. That is, when darkness is already approaching. When the tired flower of Florence is in bloom beneath the glowing brown hill surrounding, unquote. He continues by describing what happens under the arches of Ponteficio to tell us that there is darkness already during the period. Ponteficio is a medieval stone close-spanded segmental arch bridge over the Arno River in Florence, Italy. So that place is in Italy. Now quote, when under the arches of the Ponteficio, a green light enters against stream flows from the west against the current of obscure Arno, unquote. Bats fly during the tail end of the daylight and the night with the swallows, a small migratory bird that feeds on insects. That's another type of bird, swallows. Quote, look up and you see things flying between the day and the night. Swallows with spools of dark threads sewing the shadows together, unquote. The next verses describe how swift bat flies. It can easily maneuver while flying. This describes how bats fly. Quote, a circle swoop and a quick parabola under the bridge arches, where light pushes through. A sudden turning upon itself of a thing in the air, a dip to the water, unquote. Eventually, one may be confused that it is swallows that are still flying, but they are bats. That is the experience of the poet. His thought was that those birds flying are swallows, but he later realized that they are bats. Quote, and you think the swallows are flying so late, unquote. The qualities of the swallows are identified in the following verse, but are missing in bats. This makes the poet know that the swallows are gone, that bats are flying. Quote, dark hair life looping, yet missing the pure loop, a twitch, a twitter, and elastic shudder in flight, and serrated wings against the sky. Like a glove, a black glove thrown up at the light and falling back never swallows, but the swallows are gone. Now the poet here now realizes that the birds flying is really bats and not swallows. The bats are fully in charge now. The swallows are gone. This is expressed in these lines. Quote, at a wavering instant, the swallows give way to bats by the pontifical changing guard. Unquote. So it's now saying that the swallows and bats are changing guard. It's like when we say that our security men are changing guard. Maybe somebody work from 8 to 6, another person will take over by 6 in the evening. That's what it means by changing guard. So bats are now flying, not swallows. Bats have been identified to be frightening while flying. They can easily eat one's head in their dangerous flight. Now let's quote from the poem. Bats and an uneasy creeping in one's cap as the bats sweep overhead, flying madly. Unquote. The poet also describes the sound produced by bats, making use of a species of the bat he encounters, the Pisrelio. That's quote and unquote. As an example, the bats make indistinct noise and are revengeful in case they are attacked. That is, if they are attacked, they tend to revenge. Pisrelio, black piper on an infinitesimal pipe. Little lumps that fly in here and have voices indefinite, widely vindictive. Unquote. That's describing bats. The wings of the bat are metaphorically compared with an umbrella, and the sleeping position of the bat is also described. It sleeps upside down and appears where it sleeps like a rag that is hung. That is describing how bats sleep. That is, he compared the wings to an umbrella and the way they sleep, that they sleep upside down. They also expose their teeth, making noise while sleeping. Quote, creatures that hang themselves up like an old rag to sleep and disgustingly upside down, hanging upside down like rows of disgusting old rags and grinning in their sleep. Unquote. Despite the fearful and malevolent nature of the bat, it is a symbol of happiness in China. But the poet is against this. Quote, in China, the bat is a symbol of happiness, not for me. Unquote. That's the comment of the poet, that he doesn't believe that a bat should be a symbol of happiness, as we have in China. Now let's go to the themes of the poem. The first one is evil is attached to darkness. The description of bat presents it as a nocturnal animal. This may be responsible for its wickedness and its association with witchcraft, death, and other deadly things. We also have diligence as a theme. This is expressed while describing how smart the bat is while flying. It can easily maneuver itself while flying. Wickedness. Bat is presented as a wicked animal that easily eats somebody's head and is also revengeful. Illusion. The poet in this poem presents this life as an illusion. While other creatures sleep normally, bats sleep upside down. Also, in China, bats are seen as a symbol of happiness, despite the devilish qualities of the animal. Now, the poetic devices. Alliteration. This is a repetition of consonant sounds at the beginning of two or more words in an expression. We have this in lines 2, 4, 7, 11, 21, 22, 23, 40, 41. Similarly, this is the comparison of two things with the use of as or like. This in lines 23, 37, and 41. Please let's check it. We also have the use of prenomina. say we have the use of pronomina. This the use of words like you, once, and me make the poems real. The discourse appear as if real. All these pronomina are used for human beings. There's also the use of personification. This is when the qualities of the inanimate is given to the animate. We have this in lines 3 and 4. That is, when the sun from the west, beyond Pisa, beyond the mountains of Carrara, departs, and the world is taken by surprise. When you say the sun departs, don't say sun departs. It's human being that can depart. Also, changing guards. The swallow and the bat are said to be changing guards like human beings. Black piper on an infinitesimal pipe. That's another one. Now repetition. There's repetition of words like when, bat, and swallow. When, bat, and swallow. All those are repeated separately. And they are just to lay emphasis and call the attention of the reader. Also, the poem runs online. That is enjambment. This occurs when the sense expressed in a line of verse is not complete in that line of verse and has to be completed in the next lines. There's always no definite pause at the end of such lines. This is extensively used in this poem by the poet. There's also metaphor. This is the comparison of two things without the use of as or like. And we have this in line 36. Quote, little lumps that fly in here and have voices indefinite, widely vindictive. Unquote. Now talking about the structure of the poem. The arrangement of the lines of the poem is irregular to reveal the weird and haggard structure of the verse. If you look at the structure of the poem, see that the lines are irregular to show the structure of birth, the structure of bat. The wing is described, is compared to an umbrella. So that's how the structure is. The lines are irregular. We cannot say specifically that this is the structure of a bat, as it has an irregular shape. So the bat has irregular shape. Likewise, the poem, the way the lines are arranged. So that's the appreciation of the poem. So if you are new on this channel, I advise that you subscribe to the channel by click on the subscription button and also like the video. You are also allowed to share my videos on any social media platform. You can also invite your friends to join us on this platform because we have a lot to gain. All the literature texts are already discussed on this channel as well as the poems. Also, you can also visit our website. The website is www.literaturehob247.com. So search for the website and click on bookshop. So when you click on bookshop, you'll be taken to our bookshop page. So this is bookshop page, and you click on any book that you need there. This one contains past questions, 2021 past questions. WAEC and NECO. This one is JAM syllabus 2022, 2023. This one also contains past questions. That's for 2022 WAEC and NECO. This one is background knowledge of literature that contains the general knowledge of literature. This one is contains the compilation of all the 12 poems that are recommended by WAEC and NECO, and they are well simplified. So this one is on the drama and prose text recommended by WAEC and NECO. They are well comprehensively discussed. This one contains 140 likely examination questions and answers. So for those of us that are preparing for WAEC and NECO, I would recommend these two ebooks for us, so that we know how to answer questions in WAEC and NECO, because WAEC has introduced a new dimension into answering their question. So I recommend that you get these ebooks and just click on download and follow the instructions. So I appreciate those of us that are following this channel, and I thank you